Welcome back to the program. This is Capital Markets coming to you live on Channels Television. We've got our Twitter handles at CTV Tempili and at Channels TV, just in case you're interested in this conversation and you'd like to drop a few lines. In consultation reports, which was published on the 8th of this month by IOSCO, which is the International Organization of Securities Commission, there were some mechanisms that were proffered, and these mechanisms are expected to be utilized by trading venues representing exchanges now and OTCs to mitigate extreme volatility in markets. 8 measures were basically proffered and coming ahead of the regional integration of markets in Africa. And we've been having this discussion with Mr. Joe Mekiluwa from the Central Securities Clearing System, which is the depository of the Nigerian capital market, and he's still here with us on the program. Thank you very much, sir, for standing by. But then let's look at how this applies to regional integration of markets in Africa. We've been talking, we had WACMIC as part of the plans in the West African market. How does this IOSCO consultation and its consultation report and its mechanisms, apply to this initiative?
Yeah, regional integration, so we have like WACMIC for West Africa.
Yeah.
It's an initiative that brings together the various markets in West Africa into becoming one market. A situation where you don't see this market as a Nigerian market, this market as a Ghanaian market. Rather, you see one omnibus market, where securities are made to be available.
So talking about Ghana, the BRVM, the other markets.
Other markets, yeah.
And these mechanisms from IOSCO, how will they apply?
Yeah, based on the recommendation from IOSCO, from the consultant, it says that when a security is listed in one market, there must be information made available so that other markets will not be shortchanged. Now, when you tie that to regional integration, just like we have WACMIC, I happen to be the technical chairman for WACMIC integration. When a security is listed, say, in Nigeria, based on the framework we have for WACMIC, that security is deemed to have been listed across West Africa. That implies that a stockbroker in Ghana can access the same security. A stockbroker in Togo can access the same security.
So if I'm interested in buying, say, Bank stock in Ghana now, it becomes easy for me to buy.
Yes.
But then let's look at some of the hurdles that now we now have to cross. Language barrier. How does this apply here?
Okay.
In BRVM of Cote d'Ivoire, for example, it is French spoken.
Yes.
And I need to buy one of those key stocks in the BRVM. And they are talking about information sharing as one of the key mechanisms by IOSCO. How do we align all this?
I could remember when we were defining the dynamics of regional integration for West Africa. Every document we produced, we also ensure that the document, every one of them was produced both in English and in French. Just to ensure that there's a fair, distribution of information across board. And what we have observed is that we have many brokers that speak more than one language. So even in our meetings, we use English, despite the fact that there are many people from the Francophone countries.
So what will happen eventually is for the BRVM to have the English column, and for the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and it's like the Anglophone nations to have French columns.
Yes, and every document produced, every information that is to be passed across must be in these 2 languages.
Especially on their websites.
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's look at how this initiative also brings in, it factors in technology, which is one of the key things that markets across the continent are now beginning to leverage.
Yes.
How does it apply to Or how does it relate basically to what IOSCO is talking about?
Currently, we all know that we have the market is like